From the dark void of space, a fleet emerged, a silent storm of light and metal that consumed the night sky. The ships, vast and angular, bristled with weapons that pulsed faintly, a testament to power beyond human comprehension. Each vessel bore intricate designs, alien glyphs etched into gleaming hulls, radiating a cold, calculated superiority. They moved with precision, a synchronized ballet of invasion, as if every motion had been rehearsed countless times before. This was not their first conquest, and they made sure it would not be their last. The beings commanding the fleet were no less imposing. Tall, slender forms cloaked in shimmering armor that refracted light in unnatural ways, their faces were sharp, angular, and utterly devoid of empathy. Their eyes glowed faintly, a cold fire that hinted at a mind engineered for domination. They were a species born to rule, bred to conquer, and conditioned to view lesser beings as nothing more than resources. The Galactic Empire, a name whispered with reverence and fear across countless worlds, had come to Earth. Their arrival was not a secret invasion. It was a statement, an announcement of authority. A message translated and broadcast across every screen and device on the planet, reverberated through Earth's airwaves. A voice, deep and resonant, carried the weight of 1,000 conquests. Inhabitants of Earth, you now stand before the might of the Galactic Empire. Your existence is permitted only by our grace. Surrender unconditionally, and you may yet serve a purpose. Resist, and you will be eradicated without mercy. The message lingered, a heavy silence filling the void it left behind. Then came images, a montage of their conquests. Worlds scorched to ash. Species kneeling, broken and shackled. The sane voice offered a grim reminder. This is your only warning. For a moment, humanity seemed frozen, overwhelmed by the enormity of the threat. News channels buzzed with experts dissecting the technology, speculating on the futility of resistance. Governments scrambled, their leaders caught between terror and disbelief. Yet, beneath the surface of fear, a different emotion began to stir: anger. Quiet, simmering, and resolute. Humanity, underestimated as it had been so many times in history, was already calculating its response. While the aliens viewed Earth as a fractured collection of nations, they failed to grasp the deeper truths of humanity, its adaptability, its relentless creativity, and its unique ability to thrive under pressure. There were no grand declarations or displays of defiance, not yet. Instead, humanity's greatest minds and leaders went to work, silently preparing for the fight of their lives. To the Galactic Empire, Earth was just another world to conquer, a primitive backwater with no hope of challenging their supremacy. But humanity had heard this story before, written in its own history. Empires rise, they expand, and they overreach. And when that moment came, Earth would be ready. The initial response to the Galactic Empire's ultimatum was chaotic. Governments convened emergency meetings, military leaders scrambled to assess their options, and scientists faced the daunting task of decoding the alien technology. News spread like wildfire, sparking fear and speculation. In the early hours, the reality of humanity's disadvantage became starkly clear. Their weapons, satellites, and defenses were woefully inadequate against a foe of this magnitude. For a brief moment, the world seemed paralyzed. Then, the tide began to shift. The first breakthroughs came not from strength, but from understanding. Scientists, working around the clock, focused on exploiting Earth's unique environment as a battlefield. If they couldn't match the Empire's technology, they would weaponize what they already knew. Electromagnetic pulses, harmless to humans but devastating to advanced electronics, became the cornerstone of their strategy. Satellites, once used for communication, were reprogrammed to intercept and disrupt alien transmissions. Researchers tapped into the vast array of natural resources, finding ways to convert Earth's quirks, its unpredictable weather, magnetic fields, and dense atmosphere, into tactical advantages. The military adopted a similar mindset, abandoning traditional tactics in favor of asymmetrical warfare. They knew they couldn't face the alien forces head-on. Instead, they focused on deception and precision strikes. Swarms of AI-controlled drones, small and difficult to detect, were deployed to harass and confuse the enemy. Guerrilla units trained to use hit-and-run tactics, leveraging their intimate knowledge of the terrain to outmaneuver the invaders. Every move was calculated to exploit the aliens' reliance on rigid protocols, turning their efficiency into a vulnerability. Meanwhile, civilians stepped forward in ways that defied the Empire's assumptions. Across the globe, communities united, pooling resources and expertise. Engineers, coders, and mechanics worked alongside soldiers, retrofitting existing technology for combat. Farmers converted machinery into makeshift weapons. Students volunteered for training, learning survival tactics and contributing their creativity to the effort. It wasn't just about fighting, it was about resisting as a collective force. Leaders, too, rose to the occasion. Nations that had once been rivals set aside their differences, forming an unprecedented global coalition. For the first time in history, humanity operated as a single, unified entity. Speeches echoed across airwaves, not of despair, but of defiance. They didn't deny the stakes or sugarcoat the risks, but they reminded people of what they were fighting for: their homes, their families, and their right to exist on their own terms. Amidst the preparations, there were moments of raw emotion. Families gathered to say their goodbyes, their voices steady but their eyes betraying the fear of uncertainty. Soldiers hugged loved ones before boarding transports. In every corner of the world, humanity's resolve grew stronger. This was more than a battle for survival. It was a statement of who they were. The Empire, for all its might, had underestimated the one thing that set humanity apart: its capacity to adapt, to innovate, and to unite when the odds seemed insurmountable. The alien ships descended with a mechanical precision, blotting out the sun over Earth's major cities. They moved with an air of invincibility, their shields shimmering faintly as they cut through the atmosphere. From their vantage point, the planet was insignificant, a primitive world awaiting its inevitable subjugation. Their disdain for humanity was palpable, reflected in the methodical targeting of densely populated areas, meant to instill terror and crush resistance before it could begin. But their overconfidence was their first mistake. As the first wave of ships approached the ground, the air erupted with an unexpected surge of electromagnetic interference. Earth's satellites, seemingly dormant, had been repurposed into weapons, unleashing bursts of EMP that struck the alien crafts with devastating accuracy. Shields flickered and failed, advanced systems sputtered, and several ships plummeted from the sky, crashing into Earth's surface with explosions that rattled the horizon. The Empire, accustomed to swift and overwhelming victories, had not anticipated such a calculated response. Alien soldiers, tall and imposing in their gleaming armor, deployed to the surface. Their weapons, designed for precision and lethality, hummed with deadly energy. They moved with cold efficiency, expecting to meet little resistance. Instead, they found themselves stepping into a battlefield unlike any they had ever encountered. Humanity, though technologically inferior, had turned Earth's natural and urban landscapes into a series of traps. Narrow streets funneled the invaders into kill zones. Rivers, charged with electrical currents, became death traps for their metallic equipment. Improvised explosives and guerrilla tactics disrupted their formations, forcing them into chaotic skirmishes. The aliens quickly learned that humans were masters of adaptation. Where their own strategy relied on overwhelming technological superiority, humans relied on unpredictability. Farmers used irrigation systems to flood terrain, grounding enemy equipment. Miners triggered controlled cave-ins, burying alien squads. Even children contributed, using simple drones to distract or mislead the invaders into ambushes. Each counterattack revealed a level of ingenuity that the Empire had dismissed as impossible. In the chaos, alien commanders began to question their assumptions. Communications crackled with reports of unexpected resistance. "Their technology is primitive," one commander growled, frustration evident in his tone. "And yet they fight as if they know our every move." Another voice, quieter but laden with unease, responded, "These creatures, they are unpredictable." Still, the cost of resistance was high. Entire cities bore the scars of the invasion. Skyscrapers reduced to rubble, streets littered with debris, and smoke filled the air as humanity fought tooth and nail for every inch of ground. For every alien ship brought down, another pressed forward. For every squad defeated, more reinforcements descended. Human casualties mounted, and the toll of the battle was etched into the faces of those who survived. Yet even in the darkest moments, humanity found ways to endure. Small victories became rallying cries, galvanizing those still in the fight. An alien dropship destroyed by a farmer with a repurposed tractor became a legend. Stories of entire towns outsmarting elite alien squads spread across the resistance networks, igniting hope where despair threatened to take hold. The first skirmishes ended not with a decisive victory, but with the Empire retreating to regroup, shaken by a resistance they had not anticipated. For the first time, the invaders faced an enemy that did not break under pressure, an enemy that refused to follow the script of conquest they had perfected over centuries. The losses on both sides were undeniable, but for humanity, the battle had only just begun. And for the Empire, the illusion of an easy victory had been shattered. Amid the chaos of the invasion, humanity's greatest minds worked tirelessly in underground laboratories and hidden facilities. Captured fragments of alien technology were dissected piece by piece, their mysteries unraveled by teams of scientists and engineers. What began as a desperate attempt to understand the enemy's weapons turned into a revelation. The aliens, for all their advanced systems, had a critical vulnerability, an over-reliance on centralized control. Their fleet, their ground forces, even their communications, all of it depended on a network that was both intricate and fragile. If that network could be disrupted, the entire invasion might collapse. The discovery sparked a heated debate among the human leadership. Targeting the Empire's network would require striking their central command ship, a vessel orbiting Earth like an ominous shadow. The attack would need to be precise, using technology barely held together by the ingenuity of Earth's brightest. Success could mean the end of the invasion, but failure, or even partial success, might result in catastrophic retaliation. There was another layer to the decision, the potential collateral damage. Severing the network could lead to stranded alien forces wreaking havoc, cut off from orders and acting out of desperation. The choice was clear but heavy. In the end, humanity's leaders resolved that the risk was worth taking. The alternative was extinction. The plan was ambitious and desperate, requiring perfect coordination across continents. A team of specialists would launch a modified missile, designed to bypass the Empire's defenses and deliver a focused electromagnetic pulse directly to the command ship's core. To clear the path, ground forces and aerial units launched coordinated attacks, drawing the enemy's attention and overwhelming their sensors. Civilians contributed too, sending up decoy signals and even risking their lives to jam alien communications. Every human effort, no matter how small, was a piece of the greater puzzle. As the missile ascended, the tension was palpable. The world seemed to hold its breath as alien forces scrambled to intercept it. Human pilots, in retrofitted aircraft barely capable of breaking through the Empire's defenses, sacrificed themselves to draw fire away from the missile's trajectory. On the ground, resistance fighters engaged alien troops with relentless determination, knowing their efforts bought precious seconds. For every one of us they kill, 10 more rise. A leader's voice crackled over the resistance channels, galvanizing the fighters. The missile struck its target, and the effect was immediate. The command ship's systems flickered, its shields collapsing as a chain reaction rippled through the Empire's network. Alien soldiers on the ground froze, their weapons dead in their hands. Ships fell from the sky, their pilots unable to regain control. Across the globe, the once coordinated invasion devolved into chaos. The Empire's forces, disorganized and leaderless, struggled to regroup but found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. Humanity pressed the advantage, using the window of opportunity to retake cities and dismantle the remaining alien strongholds. The cost of victory was staggering. Cities lay in ruins, and countless lives had been lost. Key figures who had led humanity's resistance, from scientists to soldiers, were among the fallen. Their sacrifices were felt deeply, and their names became symbols of resilience and defiance. Yet, even in mourning, humanity stood taller. For every life lost, there was a renewed determination to honor their memory by ensuring Earth's survival. The Empire's retreat was not a calculated withdrawal but a panicked scramble to escape further humiliation. Alien ships that had once moved with mechanical precision now fled in disarray, leaving behind their dead and damaged. The invaders, once so certain of their dominance, were forced to confront a truth they had never considered. Humanity was not a species to be conquered. They were a force to be reckoned with. As the last of the alien fleet disappeared into the void, humanity did not erupt in celebration. Instead, there was a solemn understanding of what had been won and what had been lost. The victory was not just a testament to human ingenuity and courage, it was a statement to the universe. Earth was no easy target, and humanity, though scarred, would emerge stronger than ever. The Empire had underestimated them, and it had cost them dearly. The skies were finally clear. The alien fleet, once a looming symbol of conquest, was gone, leaving only the wreckage of fallen ships and smoldering cities in its wake. Across the world, survivors emerged from shelters and bunkers, faces etched with exhaustion but alight with an undeniable spark of triumph. The war had taken much, but humanity had given more. Against all odds, they had endured. Celebrations began tentatively at first. People gathered in the ruins of their neighborhoods, hugging loved ones, sharing stories of survival, and lighting makeshift lanterns to honor the fallen. In time, the celebrations grew louder, spreading from small towns to cities, from countries to continents. The world, battered but unbroken, came alive with the sound of hope. Music echoed through streets, children laughed again, and the flags of nations flew side by side, symbols of a unity that had been forged in the crucible of adversity. For the first time in history, humanity stood as one. Divisions that had once seemed insurmountable, political, cultural, ideological, were now irrelevant in the face of a shared triumph. People who had once been strangers now embraced as brothers and sisters. Leaders who had once spoken for nations now spoke for humanity. It was a victory not just over an alien enemy but over the divisions that had once weakened Earth. The war had revealed a truth long overlooked. Humanity's greatest strength was its ability to unite in the face of the impossible. Far from Earth, in the shadowy halls of the Empire's remnants, the aftermath of their failure unfolded. Alien commanders convened in silence, their once proud arrogance replaced by unease. The Galactic Empire had known defeat before, but never like this. Their systems had been compromised, their tactics dismantled, and their pride shattered by a species they had deemed primitive. Whispers spread among the ranks, words of fear and grudging respect. "They are not prey," one voice admitted, heavy with reluctant awe. "They are predators." The Empire's leaders understood that their miscalculation had consequences far beyond the battlefield. Humanity's victory was not just a blow to their military might, it was a challenge to their narrative of supremacy. For the first time, a conquered species had not only resisted but triumphed. The Empire, once invincible, now had to contend with the knowledge that there was a force in the galaxy capable of fighting back. Back on Earth, the triumph was tempered by reflection. The cost of victory was written in the names of the fallen, etched into the hearts of those who survived. Monuments began to rise amidst the rubble, not as symbols of war but as reminders of the resilience and sacrifice that had defined humanity's response. Leaders addressed the global population, not with empty promises but with a solemn vow: Earth would never again be caught unprepared. The lessons of the invasion fueled a new era of innovation. Scientists who had worked tirelessly to reverse engineer alien technology now turned their efforts to rebuilding a better world. The knowledge gained from the war accelerated advancements in energy, medicine, and space exploration. Humanity, no longer content to be bound to a single planet, began to look outward with newfound determination. The scars of the war became a foundation for growth, a testament to what could be achieved when the world came together. And yet, amidst the progress and rebuilding, there was a quiet resolve. Humanity knew this victory was not the end but the beginning of a larger journey. The universe had revealed itself to be more dangerous and unpredictable than anyone had imagined. But it had also revealed something about humanity itself, its unyielding spirit, its capacity to learn and adapt, and its refusal to bow to any force that sought to take its freedom. As Earth healed, the memory of the invasion became a story passed down through generations, a tale of defiance, sacrifice, and triumph. It was not a story of victory over an alien empire, but a story of humanity finding itself in its darkest hour. A story of how, when the universe came to destroy Earth, humanity stood together and fought back. And in the closing moments, as the world prepared for whatever lay ahead, a single voice spoke for all of humanity, echoing across the stars. We were underestimated. We were attacked. But when the universe came for Earth, we fought back, and won.